Oh, hi there! Welcome to another episode of the Okanagan Gardener and Forager channel. If you're looking for a book that can help you identify and use plants in the north, then I think you're going to have a hard time finding a better book than this one, The Boreal Herbal by Beverley Gray. I really like this book, and I'm going to show you some of why it's one of my favorite books. Boreal Herbal, Wild Food and Medicine Plants of the North by Beverley Gray. This book is, well, as you can see, it's an award-winning book and it's got quite a few awards. But this is quite possibly my favorite book. It's, I'll rate it in 4 categories, but overall, maybe a good place to start. What I'll tell you, a limit of it is, I suppose, if you're somewhere in some of the warmer climates, then this book isn't going to be as relevant for you. But for me, it's almost all the plants are plants that I see or that grow around here. So it's super, super relevant for me. So keep that in mind. But the way the book is laid out, the information that's covered, it's a really excellent book from top to bottom, in my opinion. So what I've done in the past is I've rated books on 4 categories: pictures, book learning factor, readability, and the Okanagan Gardener and Forager factor. That's my own subjective rating system. And so I'll go through it using those 4 categories as well. So before I start rating the book, I just want to show you some of the things about it. Some of the plants that are covered. It covers like 50 plants, and they're not, I don't know, sometimes when books cover too many plants, that can be a problem. But these are the ones that are covered in different categories, like plants, and then berries, and trees. And it covers each one like really well, I think. The next sections are preparations and recipes, so making, how to use them for, medicinal reasons mostly, and then also cooking, getting wild in the kitchen, how to cook with them, economics, starting a non-timber forest products business, and the reference section. And the reference section for this book is really good. I like it a lot for a few reasons. One of the things that I think is, well, one of my favorite things that it has is plant anatomy and like things like shapes of flowers, that kind of stuff, which is very helpful. A whole bunch of terms, botanical terms, because, sometimes the way plants and things are described can be a bit of a challenge to sort out, and this book lays it out really well. And then it has 3 tables that I like a lot. And this first one is usage. So say you have acne and you want to find a plant, you want to find the plants that could be used to treat acne. Just very simply laid out. The next one is actions. So if you want to find, say, a plant that's antimicrobial, you go here, okay, which one is that? Bearberry. Awesome. And then finally, the vitamin chart. Maybe you're looking for a particular vitamin, you want to get some calcium. Oh, let's look here, which has some calcium. Cranberry. Awesome. Those tables are super useful in my opinion. I really like it. Now, the first category, how I like to rate the books, is pictures. And the book itself, in terms of pictures, like, it's a pretty nice looking book. And the pictures are nice. But what I'll say is, for me, the pictures are kind of, like, they look great. I think, I'm sounding like, making it sound kind of like a downer. I'm going to rate the pictures 4.5 out of 5. They're really good. The only kind of drawback for it is, for me, I don't really use this book for identification very much. I think the pictures kind of look nice, but they're not so strong sometimes for identification. But what I do really like about the pictures is these drawings are included, and I think that's actually really helpful a lot of the time for identifying plants, to have the drawings. So each one has pictures, of course, and then drawings as well. So for pictures, I gave it 4.5 out of 5. Next category is book learning factor. Now this book is super dense in information. And just, I'll say right now, I gave it 5 out of 5 for book learning factor. And for me, that's just density of information. I really like how it's laid out. So I think it's super interesting. The different, each section has like a little bit of a history, and then the botanical description, you know, helping you to identify the plant there. Then habitat and range, where you can find it, parts that are used, when to harvest it. And then she has in each of them like kind of a bit of a write-up about them, which is really interesting, and I'm kind of getting into the readability section, but there's more information there. And then medicinal actions, what you're going to use it for, how to prepare it, medicinal uses, and then food uses, even more, nutritional profile, cosmetic uses, and a whole bunch more. And then for each of them, there's what you can do with it, and then where to find in the book all the different recipes. So it's just loaded with all kinds of information. So I gave it 5 out of 5 for book learning factor. Now, what I already started talking about was the next category that I rated for is readability. In this book, maybe some books you might, for foraging, might be kind of like a textbook. And this one has some textbook qualities to it in terms of like the information, but this book is really easy to read and like quite enjoyable. You know, like maybe I'll read a little. The playful scent of wild mint is multi-dimensional, like conventional mint. Wild mint's aroma is refreshing, but it also has a subtle earth-like smell and flavor that makes it unique. Some of the, I can't remember which one, but she often has like little anecdotes or things that she likes about particular plants. So it's really easy to read, and like it is, I don't know, it's not like it has textbook information, but it's pretty pleasant and, I don't know, relaxing, and you feel like you're almost having like Beverley Gray is just kind of taking you through the forest and showing you the different plants. So I give it for readability a 5 out of 5. Now, the last category, the Okanagan Gardener and Forager factor. This one is also really strong in my opinion. It covers plants that are super relevant for me. And the score that I'm going to give it is 4.5 out of 5. And the only real reason that I wouldn't give it a 5 out of 5, because this book, if it's a plant that I'm looking for and it's covered in here, then I'm usually stoked, because it has like tons of good information. And it's like easy to read, and if I want to like do something with it, it's got all kinds of recipes. But the only problem with it is it's big. So like I don't take it into the field. The two books that if I'm going to take with me, usually I take these two out with me. So just to show you the size, it's like the same size as these two. So I don't take it with me places. It's at home. It's like a reference book. It's not really a field book, and it is kind of more pricey than some of the others, but I would say it's worth the price. So for Okanagan Gardener and Forager factor, I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. And so all 4 categories total, I give a 4.75 out of 5. Really great book. I really like it. Probably my favorite. The only thing that I don't do with it is, because it's so big, I just don't really take it with me. The Boreal Herbal by Beverley Gray, really great book. I don't know if I said the score, but I gave it a 4.75 out of 5. Pretty hard to beat. Yeah, I don't think you could go wrong. Unfortunately, I don't know if there's an equivalent to people who live somewhere in the south, but if you're up in the north, yeah, it's a good one. And if you like the video, then please give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching. Oh, hi there. Welcome to another episode of the Okanagan Gardener and Forager channel. If you're looking